Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Detroit Lions, and you're probably looking at my coach name and be like, what is that? Their defensive tackle, John Pinacini. Legendary name. He's definitely going on the meme wheel for my Wheel of French. Also dropped that, I believe, 2 days ago, a new episode, and I think another episode will be coming out tomorrow or the next day, so you guys better be excited for that because those videos are pretty hard to make. But other than that, let's just jump into the overlook of the team. So the overlook of the team is Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is probably the most underrated quarterback of his generation, and I'm going to start, I think, something Agnew, I don't really know, but Danny Amendola is here, probably going to trade him away. Matthew Stafford, he will regress. I'll keep him around for the first year, but I don't know what I'll quite do with him yet. Marvin Jones Jr. is 30 years old, so he's going to regress. Kenny Golladay is an absolute underrated beast. I'm going to start DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson over Adrian Peterson, and Jamal Agnew is what it is. And I have dev trait regressions on because that's something new that Madden added. It's more realistic. I kind of like it, I'm not going to lie, but it does make rebuilds harder, so I don't know if I'm going to keep that on and off. D-line is looking pretty good. Defensive backs are looking all right. I'm going to start Jeff Okudah over all the other defensive backs just because he's younger. This linebacking core kind of sucks. Tracy Walker's a lot younger than I thought he was, so I guess we'll keep him around. And I think everyone else here is pretty good. They got Matt Prater as well, pretty good kicker. And everyone else here don't really care about, but John Pinacini. God, that's an awesome name. Pinacini. I don't know who decided to come up with that. Is that like Italian or something? I don't know who decided that was a good last name. But either way, other than that, boys, it is time to jump into some trades. So for our first trade, we're trading away Marvin Jones Jr. and our free safety and a fifth for a first round pick, projected number 4, because Marvin Jones Jr. takes up a lot of cap and he's kind of old. So next we have the Falcons trade with our left outside linebacker Danny Amendola, a 7th round pick for a first. Now we're trading away our right outside linebacker, our tight end, and a 4th for a first round pick from the Carolina Panthers. So here we are after the trades, and this is what the team looks like, and honestly looks kind of the exact same. Not a lot of players left, and I moved to a 4-3 just because this D-line is actually pretty good. I'm going to keep Griffin here. I forgot his first name. Everson Griffin here just because they just traded for him. Why not? So here we are at the midseason mark as we are coming off a loss to the Indianapolis Colts, and we are 3rd in the division behind the Chicago Bears, and we are also 3-4. But we have players who you signed such as Kenny Golladay, and I would love to keep him around. Superstar development, 26 years old, and let's up the salary a little bit. Will he stay with the team? He does. And we have Everson Griffin here as well, and I don't want to resign him. Don't want to resign Matt Prater, not AP either. Jamal Agnew, though, I would love to resign just because he has that superstar dev. 74 overall already. He was a 70 overall, so this is pretty great. And he's really cheap, too, so he stays with the team, so that's a great contract for us. So other than that, boys, I would say we had some pretty good signings, and it's time to jump into some playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs as we're coming off a loss to the division rival, the Vikings, and we have the playoffs bracket here, and this is what it currently looks like as... the Packers took the division with the first seed as well, and they finished 12-4. We finished 4-12 at the bottom of the division. What happened, man? We were 3-4 at the midseason mark. So at the midseason mark, we were 3-4 right here. Then we went on a loss, win, and then we just lost every other game after that. That is pitiful. That is really, really bad. But still, we're gonna look into the stats. I would say now. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but Matthew Stafford didn't have a great season, not going to lie. 28th, the best offense, worst defense in the NFL. I could kind of understand that. Matthew Stafford, 3,800 yards, 29 TDs, 13 interceptions. Rushing-wise, DeAndre Swift, 6 TDs, 729 yards. Kerryon Johnson had 4 TDs, but Adrian Peterson had 7. Kenny Golladay, almost 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns only, though. And defensively, Desmond Trufant with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 17 for Everson Griffin. Most sacks on the team goes to 7 for Everson Griffin. Most interceptions is 3 for Desmond Trufant, and safeties is 0, and defensive touchdowns is 0. So, pretty disappointing season, but other than that, boys, it is time to jump into the offseason. So here we are in the offseason as the Chiefs beat the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, and we're going to be looking at some 2020 retirements as we are going to the NFC North. It is, yes, Adrian Peterson retires and Jimmy Graham retires in our division, but Adrian Peterson retiring wasn't a big one because I wasn't going to re-sign him anyway, so it didn't really matter to me. Everson Griffin, though, I don't want Matt Prater either. And everyone else here, I just don't have an interest for. So other than that, we're going to look into the team to see what we have for upgrades or anything like that. And it looks like DeAndre Swift only has star dev, and Jamal Agnew regressed. He now went from superstar to star, which really sucks. I might turn off dev trait regression because it does make it a lot harder. And Jeff Okuda is a superstar dev. I believe he got that with bench press. And everyone else here kind of looks the same, I would say. I might turn off dev trait regressions just because it's already hard enough to rebuild the Lions. But here we are after free agency, and this is what the team looks like as offensively. We didn't really do anything, and defensively, we really didn't do anything either. But we got Will Lutz, and that was kind of the only thing we got. We got a kicker because there wasn't really too many people I were interested in, so let's just get to the draft. So here we are on the draft, picking up a defensive back to replace the ones that hit free agency. 76 overall, only normal development though, which is pretty sad, but he was ranked number 3 in the class. Next, we're picking up a right end, 76 overall, hidden development. That's what I like to see. Next, we're picking up a center who I'm probably going to move to guard, 76 overall, normal development. Ranked number 2 in his class. We picked him up at number 29. Now, I've wanted to do this for a really long time, and I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to sign a 59 overall free agent with hidden development as my QB, because I've always wanted to do this. I don't know if he's going to progress fast enough. Hopefully, he has like superstar dev or something, but still, we're going to have to cut Chase Daniel here, and we're going to have to start this rookie. I want to start this rookie because Matthew Stafford isn't bad, but he's just regressing, and I would like to move on for this rebuild. Sorry, Matthew Stafford. I'm probably gonna have to trade him because his contract is probably really, really big as well, which is disappointing for all you Matthew Stafford fans, but it's just a part of it, and I'm gonna add him to the trade block as well. And I'm gonna simulate to the next week, I would say, just to see if I have any trade offers on Matthew Stafford. But I've really always wanted to try this free agency QB thing for a long time and see the hidden dev. I've just wanted to do it for like a really, really long time, and I finally get to do it here. But we still don't get any offers for him after preseason week 3. So we are now trading him where all careers go to the Jets. Matthew Stafford in third for the Jets' first round pick, projected number 7 in the draft. And here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Panthers, and we are 3-5, bottom of the division on our bye week as well. But we have some coach XP to spend here. I'm going to spend it on a weekly player XP, and everyone else here, yeah, I just don't know how to feel about this team yet. Deshaun Hand, I'm definitely going to resign. 25 years old, going to give him a 5-year deal, up his salary. Hopefully he accepts that, and he does. Desmond Trufant, I want to see how he regresses at the end of the season. Kerryon Johnson, I don't need. Tracy Walker, though, I would like because he is a little younger than I thought he was. So 77 overall, star development, and a pretty cheap contract as he stays with the team. Everyone else here I don't have an interest for, except the QB who has superstar X Factor. What? No. Our QB has superstar X Factor, this free agent? With Bazooka? And quick draw, so I'm going to change that to inside data. I don't really like quick draw. Yeah, but still, that's really cool, I guess. My only concern is, will he progress fast enough to actually make a difference within the 4 years? Well, he only has 3 years to do it now, but other than that, boys, I would say it's time to jump into the playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Packers, and we are not making the playoffs either. But it looks like in our division, the Bears made the playoffs, so it looks like the Bears probably won the division. And they did, finishing at 10-6 as we finished a terrible record again. But Luke Ridley did not do bad for his overall and for a rookie season. But the worst defense, literally the exact same thing as last season. 3,800 yards, 18 TDs, 11 interceptions. Need to get those TDs up. DeAndre Swift, only 7 TDs, 600 yards. TJ Hawkinson, almost 1,000 yards, 5 TDs. Defensively, our middle linebacker with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 18 for the rookie, and most sacks on the team goes to 6.5 for the rookie. Most interceptions on the team goes to 3 for Desmond Trufant, and safeties on the team is going to be 0. Defensive touchdowns for the team is going to be 1 for the rookie free safety. Well, the rookie defensive back that I moved to free safety, but still, you guys get the point. But other than that, boys, it is time to jump into the offseason. So here we are in the offseason as the Saints beat the Browns in the Super Bowl, and we're going to look at the retirements. I really like this retirements tab. It helps me out a lot. NFC North, none for us, only the Packers, but not really too big of a deal. And it looks like Desmond Trufant needs to be re-signed. He went from, I believe, an 83 overall to a 79 overall, so I just can't re-sign him. I don't know, maybe a 1-year deal, actually. I just can't re-sign him. Everyone else here I don't have an interest for, except the QB who has Superstar X Factor. Only went up 3 more overall since the midseason mark, which is a little bit disappointing. But we're going to sign him to a big deal since he's extremely cheap, actually. And I just really want to see how this works out. I've never done this before, so if you guys are screaming at me in the comments, I'm so sorry. I just don't know how this works. But Superstar X Factor for a rookie free agent, and he was a free agent. I didn't spend anything on to get this guy. So I feel like if I had more time than 4 years, I could really progress this player into a stud. But I don't know how fast he can progress, which is the problem. So I completely forgot to move this rookie center that I drafted to a guard. So I need to do that now. I'm just so dumb to forget about that. But this O-line is still looking pretty good. And it looks like Jamal Agnew is now down to normal development. So that contract was not worth it. And this dev regression thing is killing me, dude. Like, Jamal Agnew was supposed to be a stud, but it looks like one of our rookies got a dev up. And this guy also got a dev up as a rookie, but it looks like our middle linebacker didn't get a dev up, even though he had 131 tackles. And our rookie defensive back that moved to free safety has star dev as well. And Tracy Walker has regressed to a normal dev, and Jeff Okuda has regressed to a star dev. And it looks like our right end has superstar dev. So that's really, really cool. And it looks like, yes, they gave him that. It says plus superstar dev there. This dev regression thing is really, really kicking me in the butt right now. It's stupid. Tracy Walker, yeah, is again a normal dev now. There's a lot of contracts I regret because of it. And it makes Madden more realistic, but simulation is already hard enough, and it's already so much BS. So I'm going to turn off dev trait regression, because it's just so much, there's already so much BS that they need to fix that they can't make it even harder for me than it already is. Like, it's so stupid. But still, congrats to them for trying to make it more realistic. It's just hard enough. So let's just get into free agency. So here we are after free agency, and this is what the team looks like. Offensively, we didn't really do much, but defensively, we got J.J. Watt, Stephon Gilmore, and Devin McCourty, who I moved to strong safety. Absolutely amazing free agency, but other than that, let's get into the draft. So in the draft, picking up a wide receiver, Jerry Lowry, or Lowry, whatever you want to say, 74 overall, hidden development. He's going to be starting over Agnew. And next we're picking up Rashard Cook, 77 overall, hidden development, ranked number 4 in the class. We picked him up at number 13. So this team is actually kind of stacked, I'm not going to lie. We just need to develop and progress. So this team definitely has all the pieces it needs to win, I would say. Maybe a middle linebacker we could pick up. But this team is definitely a great team. So other than that, boys, I would say it's time to jump into the midseason mark. So here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Vikings, as we are 5-2, only 3rd in the division, very highly contested division, as the Packers and the Bears are both above us right now. Frank Ragnow is here in free agency, so that's pretty cool, I would say, because we're definitely going to re-sign him as he stays with the team. Definitely a big signing and definitely big keeper. Justin Coleman is here with the defensive back, and I keep him around as well. The middle linebacker, I would like to keep him around. I would say that. So he wants more money, and everyone else here I just don't have an interest for. So maybe I'll work out that contract at the end of the season. But for right now, let's just jump into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Packers. As we actually made the playoffs at 10-6, and looking into the bracket, we had the 7th seed. So thank God the NFL allowed us to go in, as the Packers have the first seed, but we finished third, and the Bears also made the playoffs, so that's very, very cool. Highly contested division, 29th best offense somehow, and 14th best defense, so that definitely has improved. The defense, I think, should be top 5. But he had 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. DeAndre Swift still not 1,000 yards, but 10 TDs. Kenny Galladay over 1,000 yards, 10 TDs. TJ Hawkinson 800 yards, 8 TDs. Defensively, Tracy Walker with the most tackles on team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 13 for JJ Watt. Most sacks goes to 10.5 for JJ Watt. Most interceptions is 4 for Stephon Gilmore, and safeties is 0, in defensive touchdowns for the team is going to be 1 for Stephon Gilmore. So very, very cool season, I would say, for defensively. Definitely have improved tremendously, but I just wanted to be top 5 with that elite tier defense, in my opinion. Can we beat the 12-4 New York Giants? We can, beating them 20-27, and we are here to face the divisional rivals, the Green Bay Packers, who had a first seed. Can we beat them to move on? No, we cannot, losing 24-17 in the divisional round. At least the Lions actually made the playoffs, so be happy, Lions fans. And it looks like the Packers and the Bears are going to face, and it looks like this was completely just our division for the Super Bowl. And it looks like the Chiefs beat the Packers in the Super Bowl, even though our division had 3 different teams in it, so that's very interesting. Looking into the NFC North, J.J. Watt and Devin McCourty both retired. That is huge. That is bad. We were going into our final season as well. Yikes, dude. I'm gonna re-sign this middle linebacker, up his salary, up his bonus to make sure he stays, and he does. Everyone else here, that's just killer to have JJ Watt leave. I needed him for this final season, and especially Devin McCourty. And it looks like, whoa, Rashard Cook has superstar X Factor with grab and smash. That doesn't sound right, but I'm going to put double me, and instead of Energizer, I'm going to put, I wanted to grab and go, but I guess matchup Nightmare would probably be the best thing for him, or Route Technician would work too. But it looks like the other one only has Star Dev, so I'm glad I picked up Rashard Cook as my next one. He's only a 75 overall. Not very too happy with that. I wanted him, especially with X Factor, I wanted him to be like an 85 overall by now. And it looks like everyone else here just doesn't really get a dub up other than the outside linebacker. So other than that, boys, it is time to jump into free agency. So after free agency, we didn't really do much other than improve the O-line with Brian Bulaga, and I put him at right tackle. And everyone else here, it looks the same on offense, and defensively, we look the exact same. So other than that, boys, it is time to jump into the draft. So here we are in the draft, picking up a left end who I thought was going to have Star Dev, and I was going to move him to inside to the defensive tackle, but I guess not. So now I'm picking up a defensive tackle, since that pick was a bust. A 2, a 3, and a 2 for Grady Jarrett, 94 overall, superstar X Factor. And that will be it for the draft and for the trades. I got a new defensive tackle, but I don't really think we can do much this year. I don't know what's going on with our offense. Then that free agency QB doesn't really seem to be doing that good, even though he has X Factor. So let's just get into the midseason mark. So here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Saints, as we are 4-3, top the division. Finally, can this be our year? And Stephon Gilmore is here, and all these other players are here, but just like every year in the final season, I don't need to re-sign them because it is the final season. So let's just get to the playoffs. So here we are in the playoffs, as we are coming off a win to the Chiefs, as we are 9-7, top the division. Finally, we are not contested. Luke Ridley finally has a good season. 24th best offense still. That doesn't make any sense. But 9th best defense. Finally a top 10 team. 4,200 yards, 29 TDs, 14 interceptions. DeAndre Swift, 6 TDs, 884 yards. Kenny Galladay over 1,000 yards and 9 TDs. And defensively, our middle linebacker with the most tackles on team, most tackles for a loss, it goes to 14 for the Josh McDonald or whatever, 10.5 sacks for Grady Jarrett, and interceptions 2 for Tracy Walker. Very lackluster in interceptions. Safeties is 1 for Tevin Thomas, I think the second strong safety, and 0 defensive touchdowns. So other than that, boys, I would say it is time to look into this playoff bracket and then simulate this wildcard round, as we are in the 4th seed here to face the Arizona Cardinals in the wildcard round. Will we beat the Arizona Cardinals in the wild card round to move on to the divisional round? Can we do it? We cannot. Really, 27-24. Looks like it was probably an overtime game as the Cardinals move on to play the Seahawks. And that's going to do it for this rebuild. So note to self for me next time, don't pick up a free agent QB no matter how good his development trade is, because he apparently doesn't progress to be anything. And I'm not going to lie, DeAndre Swift sucked. He sucked really badly. He did not perform. He did not put up good numbers. Rashard Cook was only on the team for like a year, 2 years, and he's an 88 overall superstar X Factor. But still, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and make sure you like and or subscribe, because it really helps me out. It really helps out this channel. It really helps me grow. Anyways, I don't want to fluster you with subscribing or anything like that. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.